Hey everyone.
Hi.
Welcome our wonderful tarot community. Welcome
Welcome.
to Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee. And you know
Hi.
what? Back by popular demand, the beanie.
No, this is actually a different beanie. It's
Oh.
green. I know it's a subtle difference. The other one was blue. This one's green.
Wow, good
It's
to
good
see
to see everyone. Thank you.
everybody here. And you know, after all the bad weather yesterday we had, the sun is shining bright here in Michigan today. Pretty nice day. All the way around.
Monsieur, oh, indeed. We.
Yeah. So we've got the order going here. I've written everybody's names down. Hey, Violet Ann. We got you down. We have everybody down. I'm going to start again with something I did on Thursday night. I'm going to pull for everybody one of Colette Baron Reed's Enchanted.
Whoops.
Whoa. There we go. Enchanted map cards. And these have either upright or reversed interpretations. And they're very brief. Let's see what we get as a little vibration for today. Something we need to keep in mind. Uh-oh. It's the reversed sad embrace. You might want to show that again. What number is that card? Well, it's probably out
45.
45, yeah. So basically, reverse, the sad embrace card wants to ask us, are you suffering over your suffering? Do you feel that life is treating you unfairly and that you've been robbed or deprived of what you're entitled to? Do you long for a love that eludes you or the success that has been bestowed upon others? Righteous anger and a sense of entitlement lead to a trap of ego. Your suffering and loss will pass if you let them. If you hold on to your perceptions of unfairness, then you'll find yourself in its tight grip, unable to breathe freely. The only solution is to drop your victim stance and embrace the sadness so it may dissipate naturally in time. And you know, it's funny, there was just a little bit more to this card, but I wanted to comment on that, you know, that is something that I really believe in. You know, we can't run away from our sadness. We need to embrace it before we can let it go. I think that those words always, you know, stand out to me.
Never want to let you
Well,
go.
I think you want to let it go eventually if it's sadness, I think. But, you know, you need to honor that feeling and then be able to let it go.
Absolutely.
So the final part of this is trials and tribulations build character, which is its own gift. Find something to be grateful for and take responsibility for your part in all matters. However painful it may be to sit with your sadness, remember that you are loved and will not be left adrift forever. Have faith, for this too shall pass. You are not a victim, only a traveler on a hero's journey. It's okay to be disappointed for now, but know that someday you'll look back and see great value in the experience. And yeah, you know, I think that says it all. And it also really says why I like Colette Baron Reed's deck so much. They're very, very nice and thoughtful. Okay, so that's our vibe for today. Cat butt cam. Uh-oh. Smiling Soul is saying. So what decks do you have today, Mr. O, before I get into the list?
I'm bringing my Navigator's Tarot of the Mystic Sea. And there's the Tree of Life on the back, and I like that. It's very colorful. But I also have my Tarot of the Ages, which also has similar kinds of symbology involved. And then I brought a couple other ones too. I brought...
Whoa, you've got tons today.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll get around to all them. The Adrian Tarot, which is sort of new agey. The Gay Tarot. A Low Scarabo deck, which is really...
And Mitchell Osborne just did Intuitive Me just did a YouTube on unboxing the Gay Tarot.
Tarot of the Northern Shadows, which is kind of specific to more Norse kind of concepts. I've used it here a couple times.
Hi, Fem82. I will add you on and I'll go over the list in a minute.
Alrighty.
And
How about you?
how about me? Indeed, I have today. I'm going to use the Tarot Art Nouveau. Decided to bring that one out and use it in place of the Manga Tarot today. And that tarot is a low Scarabeo deck, and it's actually from 1998, and it's by I'm trying to think of the name here, Antonella Castelli. And then the other deck I have, if I can find it, yes, is of course the After Tarot deck that I've been using. So that's a US Games deck, and really, really enjoy this deck as well.
The cam has
Or
really
antenna.
gone live, as you
Oh
can
no!
see. It's
One of our cameras, you want to put the technical difficulties up for a moment? Give us 1 second.
Mr. Believe it or not,
Okay.
we're back.
Sorry, Mr. O dismantled one of our camera stands, so we had to step away a moment. So anyway, so the After Tarot, and then I'm going to be using the expanded Ciro Marchetti Lenormand again. So I think we're ready to go, and I will go over the list with everybody. If I've missed anybody, let me know. But this is what I have so far. I have Miss Yana, who joined us first, Smiling Soul, and then Violet Ann, Esoterics, KC, Gina, Merwin, and Femme82.
All right, let's get going.
So, Miss Yana, we'll take your question. And also making an appearance today is a wonderful plate of something called firecrackers.
Well, they're actually called Alabama firecrackers.
I've seen them both ways, but the recipe that you used is Alabama firecrackers. I actually found the recipe, and he perfected it, in my opinion. Okay, we do have a question.
Let's go.
And Khalil likes the look of the Norse stack. All right, so we will do that, Miss Yana. Thank you. Okay. So why don't we do a 3-card on that?
You want me to use my deck?
Sure.
Okay.
Or you want me to use the Art Nouveau? I have it right out if you want. Oh, you got one?
Yes, and I have that Tarot of the North Shadows, so I'm going to use that here.
I'm kind of trying to have Sunny in the middle here, so I have some room to shuffle. We'll see how long that lasts.
Abandon that notion, Banshee.
So I want to say and warn you, these firecrackers are extremely warm, hot, caliente, and so if I lose my voice temporarily, that might, or start hacking my guts out, that might be why. But they're just regular saltine crackers that are spiced and, little oil that it's marinated in, and it stays overnight in a big bag, and they are the most wonderful thing in the world.
We might have to get a variant technical difficulties play card.
Yeah, if I start hacking my guts out here. He made them for work yesterday, and they all just disappeared somehow. I mean, I know you brought some back and left me some. Where'd they go?
They're really addictive.
They're very addictive. Especially if you like hot stuff. All right, I'm going to cut. And we'll see what's going on with the situation for Miss Yana. Do you want to grab it? Oh, I'm sorry. The microphone might be in the way. It's either that or the cat. You got it. Sorry. I will cut over there when you have to. Yep.
And you said 3 cards, right?
I did.
Okay, so there were 3 cards. There were the Moon reversed, the Eight of Cups. I love that with a white lion. And then the Four of Rods, but reversed. And of course, rods are wands.
So, why do they still want you? That was the question, I believe.
Right.
And so I'm looking at this and thinking that,
Were you actually married or nearly married? Were you in a fairly committed relationship?
it said Libra
You said
X.
but
yeah, that's true.
Because I definitely see that with the Four of Wands, how it sort of seems to be dissolved. You are the X.
And somebody has moved on, but yet it seems as though, so I don't know if it's you that's moved on or that person, but it seems as though since that time, maybe there's something that's been revealed, or some feelings have surfaced that maybe have been under the surface.
The moon is almost always a card of deep, emotional things going on. And sometimes it relates to secrets and mysteries, or even outright more or less deceptive or scandalous kind of things going on or being talked about. When it's reversed, it could mean that some of this has come more to light or is somehow being resolved. Okay, not married.
Okay.
I didn't think so exactly, but I thought it maybe might have been close or something. I don't know.
Well, clearly that means a parting. And even this card to some degree means that as well. But yet I feel that there's something drawing back, and it's like these hidden emotions that maybe they never realized they had.
Yeah, there's sort of an addictiveness about this too. Like maybe
Obsessed.
They have some sort of codependency thing with you. It's not necessarily that you enable it, but somehow they're drawn to that, and maybe they just in general would like to change the what they consider the unhappy story of the parting of ways.
Well,
I sort of see that. To sort of change direction in a way, again, for them, from their outlook, because that's what we're looking at here.
Well, I don't know.
2 years.
This is kind of a tough card for me, card combination to read in the Lenormand. I have the home card, but I'm going to think about it here, and I have the Fox card. And I almost feel like maybe in some way, shape, or form, they feel there was a comfortability or a security that they felt, in this relationship. And maybe in some ways it made them a little bit better and wiser. I don't know if that makes sense to you at all. They learned something. What do you think?
Well, I'm feeling a little slightly the opposite, because
Okay.
I actually feel too that maybe, and I'm not sure exactly how this might have played out, but in some ways they might have felt too secure to the point that maybe they felt they took some things for granted, and or they took advantage of some things. I'm not necessarily implying anything. Well, I don't know. The moon reverse was a little bit scandalous. So I don't know. Is it possible that maybe they weren't fully committed deep inside of themselves, and so they gave themselves license to do things flirtatious or outside of the relationship?
He did say he felt home with me. That's interesting to know, because that's the sense I get when I get that card in a relationship reading, or that there's some security, some attachment in those regards. The Fox is kind of what threw me a little bit, because often it has to do with work and stuff. I don't know if this person worked out of the home, but I feel that in a sense that's also telling me that, maybe there was some sense of bettering themselves. They realized maybe they were a bit of a better person around you, whether they're really admitting that outside or not. You never know what's inside a people's heart. People will only say what they say. And sometimes people are very open with their feelings, and others keep them bottled up for years.
Somehow something drove them to another factor, another decision.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm seeing here. I think they're
Another comment.
Oh, 4 years. Okay. But they're still attached to you, you feel? That they're still wanting you back? Is that it?
Well, I don't know if we found the exact reason.
No, well, I don't know if we were looking for, well, yeah, the reason why they want you.
I think it's somehow
He did say
more
he wants
connected.
you back. I think we did find some of the reason. I think that they feel like maybe they were better off with you. I think that's part of what I see with the house and the fox. I feel too that, that maybe over time, they've come to some realizations in their mind about you. So I don't know. You may want to explore this more with us later and see if there's reason to go back or not, or if it is totally water on the bridge, maybe you want to ask how you can, gently, politely get them to move on.
I don't think that we looked at it entirely from the idea of whether you should do that, but
No,
whether
we didn't.
it was more like of
Yeah.
why is it happening at this time? So it might be worthwhile to revisit it
Yeah,
later.
it depends on where you're at with it. So, but that was an interesting question, and I hope we've helped you out with that, Miss Yana.
All right.
And we're going to move on to Smiling Soul. Hey, Smiling Soul, what's up with you?
Okay, there's a comment there
Ah.
from Smiling Soul.
Well, we'll see if we can get to the one later. How about that? But go ahead and ask the one now. You're welcome, Miss Yana.
You are welcome.
You dropped a card.
Oh, I did. My goodness. I'm hearing little hissy cats over there. Stop it.
Okay. I'm not sure. Well, I think we're going to throw 3 cards on that situation, Smiling. I know what you're talking about. We don't have to go into detail. So I will see what it says.
And also, hello to Mystic Dreamer.
Hello, Mystic Dreamer. Welcome. I'll get you on the list. It's a fairly short list, but you're still at the bottom.
So
I'll go over
far.
that after we get through Smiling Soul.
Are we doing your tarot this time?
Yeah, I've got my
Okay.
art tarot Art Nouveau.
Ow. Can I have a cracker then?
Okay, so long as we don't have to go. Oh, hey, Tana.
You know what? We have a cat alert over here.
Oh, hey. Can
Hey.
you get up or?
Well, I could, but it's not the easiest to do. One sec. Here.
Okay, we have a little cat brawl going on that Mr. O is going to break up. Just minor. One of our cats doesn't always appreciate playing when Sunny does. So. All right. I'll get these ready for Mr. O to shuffle. And he's back. Have we sent the boisterous boy on his way?
Looks like we have more people.
Yes. Oh, Patrick has come. Okay. Hey, Patrick. Welcome, Patrick present. We'll get you on the tarot list if you're interested in a reading. And if you just want to watch, that's great as well. But I'll put you down there. And I will go over the list order in just a few minutes. We're in the middle of a reading right now. Just enjoying one
You
of
just missed it, Patrick. I just broke up a mini scuffle.
Yes, a little mini scuffle between the 2 cats. Not thankfully on the table here because our cameras probably would have went down.
They occasionally have little hissy growl moments, and it sort of seems like one wants to play and the other one says no way. We're not entirely sure what their dynamic is.
Neil
This was about
Peart.
Smiling Soul, wasn't it?
Mystic Dreamers talking about Neil Peart. People always so sad. You know, Rush is one of my up there favorite bands, along with Yes, and losing Chris Squire years back, and now Neil Peart. Wow, that's a blow.
Okay, we're getting back to Smiling Soul's question.
All right, Patrick, I'll have you on the list. Well, Smiling Soul.
This was about their intentions.
Yeah, and there's not, oh, is that the 5 of, okay. Well, remember all those good cards you've been having lately? These are not so good. We have the Knight of Wands reversed. We have the Ace of Cups reversed. And we have the Five of Pentacles upright. And so I'm going to say that, I don't want to totally judge this person's intentions, but I think with the Knight of Wands, it seems to me that they're very busy and they may have a little bit. Do you think the Knight of Wands is kind of like ego-driven a bit?
It is to some degree, but also, too, I think there's the idea there, too, that and maybe this is that ego part of it, is that maybe sometimes I get the feeling, especially combined with this Ace of Cups here, that they want to be everybody's friend or everybody's hero or everybody's savior. So, or those are aspects that I could apply that way.
I really like that. Yeah, I see that exactly here. But also the Five of Pentacles is saying to me that, don't expect a lot out of this, at least not initially, because it seems like the time, right now, when card is talking about poverty and lack, in this situation, since I know it, specifically, what your question is about, it's just saying don't expect a lot right now. And as a matter of fact, this may take some time to play out, to even understand what the intentions are, because the Pentacles are slow-moving cards as well.
Well, and the other thing I might offer with that is that since we did ask that from that other point of view or opinion, it could be, too, that maybe right now they might have a few issues that they're dealing with, too, that are distracting them in some way.
Mystic D, you're near the bottom of the list, not at the bottom anymore, so don't worry. I'll go over the list total in a minute. You're still fine.
Yeah, there's no way we could have got through that list.
Yeah, no. So that's what we have right now. And remember, Smiling Soul, remember, this is only a snapshot in time. Maybe this is just telling you again, don't be too expectant.
We have another mess over there again.
Okay. Don't have high expectations right now. Give it some time.
Sunny boy. Hey, Sunny.
Sun. Oh, dear. What is going on today?
Come down.
All right, I'm going to do a couple Lenormand for you quickly, Smiling Soul, and then we'll move on.
He'd rather be a threat over there than a nuisance over here.
Okay, I drew, the first card I drew was Ciro Marchetti's maze card. It's like walking through a maze. And then I drew the bridge card. And I'm really feeling here, I think the challenge is connectivity, how you can connect up, how you can make a connection, and that there's a lot of confusion surrounding this right now. So maybe, you got to give some time to sorting things out, and like I said, maybe wait till the energies are a little clearer here, because that's what I'm seeing with the combination of those two cards.
I sort of agree with Banshee on that, and then I would just have to say, too, that, it's a highly competitive thing, and that's why the maze shows multiple persons at different paths of the maze. And so the idea could be that you're going to be at different points of that movement, or it could also mean, too, that there's a level of competition and that they're maybe to some degree obscuring everyone else's moves, too, a little bit.
Yep.
It looks like Sunny is finally backed off of Sassy. He was really bothering her.
I'm sorry you didn't hear what you wanted to hear, Smiling Soul, but you know what? Never say never, because time changes everything. So, time and action and right timing. So keep that in mind, and we'll see how things go. Oh, look who's arrived. The poor cat who was getting picked on by Sunny.
Okay,
Sassy is here.
Have a seat, girl.
And, all right, let me quickly go over the order with us. Maybe Mr. Oberon wants to get one of his decks ready for this next reading. Our next person is Violet Ann. And then we have Esoterics Tarot, KC, Gina, Merwin, Femme82, Mystic Dreamer, Tana, and Patrick.
We don't think it's over
I
yet.
definitely don't think that has, that's an issue here. From what I've seen, I really don't think it's that. But I do think it might just be, the fact that a lot of people like that try to get a lot of friends and people, following them and stuff because, it benefits them.
Okay, and we have our question from Violet Ann. So can we do that?
Okay, it's specifically 2 people. How will they be in the
in
next 3 months?
several
What will be
months,
going
yes.
on? Okay.
So I have already started shuffling the Tarot of the Ages, which I've switched to.
All right.
And I'm going to hand that over to you in a moment.
Yep. And Sassy is actually giving me a little space.
You are welcome, Smiling Soul. Kitty's tail is knocking the camera off track. So spatial.
So any camera wobbling of our table cam, we can blame on Sassy. I love this deck. This deck is not only thin, it's nice and compact. It's just the right
Like
size.
petite. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I've seen petiter decks. I can't use those real tiny ones. I can barely shuffle those. All right.
Hey, girl, go lay down.
There. Okay, let's roll. Okay, Violet Ann, let's see what's going on with you and Jay.
So is it one for each month?
No, I think we're just gonna. This is like
A synthesis.
Yeah, a
Okay.
synthesis.
Okay. So
There's some very interesting things here. There's a couple of swords that popped up. So it seems like a focus is going to be on, I don't know,
There's a little bit of disharmony, or there's a little bit of discohesion. There may be the sense that there's some decisions to make, and God, this is so. Go away, Sassy.
here. Let's show the cards. The
Okay,
two
so we
of
have the
swords.
reverse to a sword. So
Reverse.
maybe this is considering that to some degree you feel like you're moving towards something, but you're still not exactly sure how you want to respond to that. It may be about making a particular decision, and it may not necessarily be easy for you to understand or see the ramifications. Is that what you want to say?
Well, maybe. I think that, there might be a joint decision, obviously, right?
Sure.
Between the two of
It's
them
two.
that needs to be addressed. There's some issue that needs to be addressed, and whether a decision or just needs to come out and, reach agreement on it. I don't know if it's an important life decision per se. Let's see what the other cards were again.
So then the next one
Huh.
is the Seven of Coins
Okay.
reversed. And so this one implies that maybe there's been not so much a change, but a decision to move ahead on something that maybe you weren't thinking you needed to at this time. Like maybe you were watching something from the sidelines, or you were sort of non-committal about advancing that, and now you maybe have decided to.
Yeah, I like that. Or the other thing is that sometimes the Pentacles means a delay or, plans that just haven't really worked out the way that you might have thought they would. And I don't know if that ties, oh my gosh,
You can't.
into the decision here a bit. I don't know what's going on today. I think it's maybe jealousy. We're having a little bit of turf wars going on here in our household.
So
moving
right
along. Yes.
Our final card here was the reversed Queen of Swords. And to me, it sort of harkens back to the first card about making decisions or about movement, direction. And it may be saying that you're not exactly feeling you're confident about making the right decision so much as feeling that you have to apply a certain level of hard-edgedness to the decision. Like you sort of have to really mean it when you say you want to do this kind of thing. So it is about being fair, but it's about being fair in a little bit of a tough love kind of way.
Yeah, I'm going to see what the Lenormand has to say for you about these next 3 months. See if anything comes up about this decision or thing to come to agreement on. Well, whether this is with the relationship, which it could very well be, It looks as though, okay, I've got I can't get it over the microphone, sorry, and her, and her at the same time. The moon and the compass, one of the newer Cyril Marchetti additions to a Lenormand. And so it's telling me, you guys are seeking some kind of direction. Some kind of direction that will either bring you closer together, bring you some type of success, some joint success. It seems as though that seems to be what the focus is going to be. Something that possibly will draw you closer together.
Right. To me, the compass is also about orienting yourself. So it may be that the moon implies changes to me too. It may be that you're trying to get used to a change that's going to happen in the status quo, and I sort of think it's connected to a decision that has to be made over the next several months.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we have for you today, Violet Ann. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Hope that helped. And now we've got Esoterics Tarot is up, and then KC, Gina, Merwin, Femme82, Mystic Dreamer, Tana, and Patrick.
Come here. Come here, you.
You're very welcome, Violet Ann. Anytime.
You're welcome.
So, KET, what do you got for us today? Aw, Sassy, so cute. Very affectionate cat when they're not fighting. I don't know what got into them today. They don't fight a lot. They really don't.
However, we really do think that they're jealous of the attention each other gets
Yeah.
when they're not. We're pretty sure that's happening. It's really kind of funny because in their first year to 2 years, they were much more kitten-like and sibling, stuff between them.
I see part of it. So I think, are you writing something else, CT? What is the question about it? Maybe I'm not seeing all of it.
Well, let's give it a moment.
I'll give you a moment. I see the start of something here.
I'm having a headache thing right now, too. I don't know what it is.
Oh.
So, yeah, there should be a follow-up to this. We're going to use your deck?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can get one of mine. Let me get the after tarot this time. So, Esoterics, do you just want us to read on this situation about the mistakes and missteps and where to go from here? Is that sort of what you're looking at?
Sorry.
Okay.
Let's just do it then, I guess.
Well, I'll shuffle here. I hope we didn't lose Esoterics. I almost want another cracker.
Me too.
Yeah, well, let's wait. They are addicting. I think I said that already. And so easy to make, really, aren't they?
They're pretty easy to make.
It's got to mix a few ingredients together. Okay, Esoterics, we're not hearing from you. Don't know if we lost our connection.
Do you want me to go ahead and cut now?
Yeah. Oh, wait, there. Okay, so did you want us... It seemed like your question was incomplete, so we're not sure we understand it. Could you just... because there's not a question in what I'm seeing in the chat. Unless we're missing something.
As is.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Then that's what we're going to do.
Because we just kind of focused on what you did put there, so
Yes.
we have a sense of what we can say to that or about that.
Okay.
Okay, are they headed in the direction of success? Is there any advice? Okay. Okay. It's a long road. Or it's a long road at this point. It looks
I wonder
that
if
way.
we should do a yes/no after reading these, because I do think this is talking to the situation.
Okay.
The Queen of Cups is reversed here. So I think that, there were maybe some balance issues, maybe, the reality versus the dreams kind of thing is what I'm getting here, and being able to reconcile that. And, this is reversed, the Three of Pentacles reversed, which indicates to me that maybe you feel now, you didn't put your best foot forward on things, and that it reflects poorly on you in some way. And that it may also have to do with, how much you were willing to, this is my opinion, of course he hasn't spoke yet on it, how much you were willing to maybe put into the situation, how much were you willing to give, how much were you willing to sacrifice, and also was it worth the sacrifice is maybe what you're saying to yourself in a way. Now, go ahead.
Okay, well, to me, there's this idea, I guess, that emotionally you didn't feel really down or comfortable with what some of that meditation was telling you, and maybe you were taking it too much to heart, so you're letting it kind of hurt yourself in a way you shouldn't have. And to some degree, this has given you doubt about where you're fitting in. You're just wondering, really, mostly you're in a period of doubt, I think, where maybe you just need to kind of, get over that somehow. You need to have your friends and everybody try to bring you out of that. It seems like you're willing to make certain sacrifices, but you maybe doubt whether they're going to be enough.
I like that. And I think what I want to ask now is really, really quick, yes, no, if things are going in the direction of success now, to see if there's any adjustments you have to make. So we're going to do that. And then the Lenormand that I quickly draw will be on that.
And I'm not crying. I seem to be getting hair in my eyes.
Oh, no.
I don't know what's going on. If it's from the cat here. This one sheds the most, I
We
think.
need to brush this one too. This one needs a brush.
And now she has offered more hair to fly my face.
Oh dear. Here, quickly shuffle and cut for me so we can do a quick
Alrighty.
yes, no.
When's that cracker coming, Mommy?
Mommy.
Okay, madam. Madam and Monsieur O. Okay, I'm gonna cut now. I got hair all over my face.
I shouldn't pet her then. Sorry.
It's just, ugh. I'm so sorry.
Oh, my goodness. I did put the microphone a little low this time. I'll think about that next time.
Are we headed in the direction of success? Maybe Andy Warhol was right. In the future, everyone will be a celebrity for at least 15 minutes.
Well, I think yes. The answer is leaning yes.
Leaning towards yes.
You have two aces reversed, the Ace of Swords reversed and the Ace of Wands reversed.
No, it's the cat. I'm sure it's the cat esoterics.
Ah. And the Devil reversed. And so what it's telling me is you've overcome some things, some blockages, some maybe things within yourself that you needed to overcome, whatever the case may be. Some obstacles or some things that stood in your way that held you back have been overcome. That's what it looks like to me, that maybe you are indeed on the right path. I hope that helps. And quickly, a couple of Lenormand.
Do I get to talk about this?
No, you can't.
Oh, you bad person.
Go ahead.
No, I mostly agree. It leads towards success, but what the Devil reverse tells me, I think, is that it's about relaxing some of your attitudes about making money or being materialistic, or about not being that. Like I don't really know you well enough to know how materialistic you are or you aren't, if you eschew it, or if if you equate success only with making lots of money, or if that's a little bit. But I sort of feel this idea about materialism is something you want to relax more about. When it happens, it will happen and you'll be happy.
Blah, blah, blah. Your time is
Blah,
up.
blah,
No.
blah.
I'm sorry. That's because I'm excited to show you, E.T., that I drew the ship and I drew one of the newer cards in Cyril Marchetti's deck, the dice. So what that's telling me is don't be afraid to take the risk and make the changes and adjustments you need to make. Don't be afraid of moving forward and taking that fool's leap into the unknown.
Yeah, it looks like it's a well-favored gamble for
Yeah.
you, possibly indicating opportunities coming to you, or opportunities you're aware of and you're just wondering about them as you're going through your questions here.
So I hope that's helped you, E.T. And we're going to move on the list, and we're on KC. Hey, KC, you're up. And then comes Gina, Merwin, Femme82, Mystic Dreamer, Tana, and Patrick. We're doing just fine time-wise. We'll be able to get everybody in. Oh, you're very welcome, E.T. No problem at all. I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you, Esoteric.
Love the feedback.
Mommy, no, I'm sorry, not Mommy. Banshee.
Thank you. Yes.
When am I going to get a cracker?
Oh, wow. Here. All right, we can all watch Mr. O eat as I look at Casey's question. If there's a when element to it, doing now to bring it closer to happening. Love the Norse deck. Okay, so you can use that, Mr. O.
I like the Norse deck because it's sort of unique in a way. It has its legends in English, and then I guess that's German is what it looks like. But it seems rather Eurocentric, but still the design and the drawings are really nice, and they're semi-unique in tarot decks. Okay.
All right, let's do a 3-card. And I don't know if I have anything. Let me see. I think we'll just do 3 cards. Oh, who's here? Patton has come along. Hello, Patton. We'll go over the list in a minute. It's not super long, but we keep getting people.
I'm not sure if any of the men qualify. They sort of look like outtakes from a rogue Shakespeare company, maybe. But I'll show you everyone that comes along, I guess.
All right.
I like them. I absolutely like them. I don't read with them all the time.
All right. Let's see what we get. See if there's anything that looks like timing in here too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have the Chariot reversed. And the image sort of looks like Thor being driven on the chariot with the goats. I think it's Thor who has the chariots driven by goats. Magical goats of some sort. So the Chariot reverse sort of sounds like there's a slowness there. There's a drive thing. Maybe it's talking about what your question is about the ability to connect or to somehow get closer to each other. Seems to be hampered, maybe.
Seems to be going in reverse, or I mean, it's not the forward movement you desire at this time.
The Hanged Man reverse. To me, the Hanged Man always talks about maybe things that are missing from the equation, things that are not understood, things that are not able to be appreciated in context to where you could say, I need to do less of that and more of that. I need to give up something to make that sacrifice that the
Well,
hangman talks about.
and that's interesting too, is that, you did ask, what can you do to move things in a forward direction? And, this is maybe saying to you, how much are you willing to sacrifice for this? That's maybe some of the questions that you have to ask yourself in regards to this relationship.
On the other hand, despite
That's
it
right.
all, the Queen of Rods, the Queen of Wands appears.
Yeah.
And this does talk about strong magnetic attraction relationship with somebody that is drawn to you, or you're drawn to them, or it's a little bit of both of that. And I always like to think that there is a little bit of a romantic equation, but it might be a little bit more on the prickly side. Like maybe there's just a little prickly flirtation, or there's just something that's a little bit teasing with maybe just a little edge to it. You think so?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I was kind of thinking to myself, now I was kind of thinking about the timing element. And from what we've told you here, with what we see with the Chariot reversed, even though wands are a card of more forward movement and speed, I'm beginning to think maybe it's more the fire element in wands that we should be looking at here. And at the very earliest, summer potentially is possible. But I just don't know. At this time, it's not really showing some forward movement. What do you think?
Right, and I know you wanted to try to work more with questions, because a lot of our questions are really about timing
right.
and when things are going to happen. So I appreciate you drawing that out there. I feel that way too, that to me, rods represent that kind of more heated time of the year, the aspects there.
Well, and knights are number 12, really, in the tarot court, or in the tarot minor arcana. So if you look at it that way, I could say it could be up to 12 months as well.
Well, or 12 weeks is about, three months. And so that's not quite summer, but getting closer. So maybe it's between those two. I don't know.
Think about that in relation to the timing, these different possibilities. And recognize, interesting, yeah. And recognize that, with the Chariot and that reversed, I'm not thinking it's looking good right at the get-go.
What you got?
Well, I drew the bear. And I drew one of the new cards, the compass. And so, I'm wondering if this is where you have to find a way to impress upon this person, the value of a relationship or your feelings at some point. That maybe, if you're looking for a direction or a thing that you need to do, that's what I'm sensing.
Could it be in any way possible, too, that this person is still on their own quest to empower themselves in certain ways, and that maybe it's not that they're against the relationship, but they're sort of thinking that they need some more structure within themselves, that they really are trying to work on some things within themselves a little bit?
Well, in a sense, aren't we all?
Aren't we all? That's true.
That is true.
But some people might maybe
more than others.
Let's be fair. Maybe some people use that as an excuse to not work on their relationship.
Yeah, and I do know that there are people who just adamantly never think they have to work on themselves. So there is that.
There is that.
So that's kind of what we have for you, Casey. I hope that gives you a window on this. Not all great news, but not all impossible.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Hey, Gina, you are up. And then we have Merwin, Femme82, Mystic Dreamer, Tana, Patrick, and then Patton, who's joined us. Okay. I think that's a yes-no. So why don't we ask a yes-no and see where that leads?
Sure. Sounds like a fascinating question.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see if we get this right, actually, and it's a cool one to see.
As always, Casey, it is our pleasure. You have great questions, and we like reading for you. And we love all the feedback that we get
Oh.
from most people.
Sorry to hear that, Patton, but you take care. Good to see you again. Okay.
We are using a laptop to run the software for our studio that makes us run, and also for the YouTube. So those handle both of those.
Yeah.
And sometime over the next year, the next several months, we are hoping to get a new laptop with a new, more powerful operating system, more memory, etc. Because we think we'll be able to define a more clear resolution screen and picture with the cameras we have. And
Yeah.
maybe some other little tweaks we'll be able to use. We know some of the other programs we use
So we have
we'll upgrade to.
we have 2 external cameras going, and then we have our broadcasting software on the laptop, and we're just using OBS, the free
It's a free software,
software that is out there. Our
If we ever had enough money, we would probably upgrade with something maybe more professional. I've looked around at a few things. We'll see. For some
Our
of
son
our,
and former producer, Monster Hunter, has turned us on to that software. And of course, he does some embellishments with our videos and things in iMovie.
Right, and I also occasionally will use a camcorder. It's a really nice camcorder, in my opinion, but it's probably a little bit outdated in terms of its, am I shuffling?
Yes.
Computer connectivity issues. But I use it because it's got zoom and some other features that I can use for a little bit more advanced camera work. I still have to mix that
And that's
down
about it. We're
in
not
iMovie.
really the most tech people in the world, even though we work in libraries. We should be better. As my son keeps reminding us, we all work in libraries, actually, including him. And but we do what we can, and we're learning as we go. And
I
it's
know
a
some
lot
other
of fun.
folks who are using their phone to do readings, so I don't know if they just have something different going on or what it is, but I know some other people do it. They may still be even using a combination of a exterior camera with their phone, but I think some other people I know are doing that. Okay, so we're back to Gina's question, and I was trying to keep my focus there, so let's see what we're getting.
I did too. Whoa. It's saying definitely yes, Gina. I hope this is in fact true, but it is leaning towards, not just leaning towards, it's got 3 aces, which is the Ace of Swords reversed.
I'm not aware of
They're
the
all reversed.
the
but
CMA Awards.
It's a Country Music Awards.
Right.
Yes.
I didn't want to say that out loud necessarily, so I wouldn't know who might be eligible for a lifetime achievement. I can't really think of too many people I knew. Wow. Okay, you'll have to let us know.
Yeah.
Do we already have a set of nominees, and do you care to mention them, or is it just something that sort of is done sort of as a surprise, everybody?
Oh, I see what you're
Touring
saying there.
awards.
Yeah, that's probably true. I don't know that for a fact, but I do know that there's different things with monetization and stuff. You have to have X amount of, subscribers and whatnot. So yeah, YouTube has a lot of restrictions. Monster was suggesting using Twitch, which is another platform out there that a lot of gamers are using. I don't know if our Intel gamer here can talk on that, but that's something that he suggested to us as well. But we decided to go with YouTube at this time. And who knows, maybe someday we will switch.
Well,
We will switch to Twitch.
You'll know before
Oh
we
my
go,
gosh,
Gina, so let us know.
Oh, wait, you know what? I didn't do a Lenormand for Gina. Let me do that real quick.
Yeah, of course.
But I think that's so definite. Let's just see if it gives me any background on this. Look at her.
She's being very sweet right now.
Whoa. Are these people that are getting the lifetime achievement? I assume they are older in life. I hate to say it. Look, there's the ending card, the cross card in the which is grief. And then there's number 22, which is decisions, or in my opinion, it could also mean maybe life path or something, that are they at the end of the road, or are they really further up, so far on in their career? And that's why they're getting, considered for the lifetime achievement, because this certainly seems to fit with that.
Right, they're like sort of more towards the end of their career,
Yeah.
or they've just had a very long and influential career. To me, this is almost like a metaphor for coming on the stage, going up the stairs to the stage, coming out on the stage, that kind of thing. And of course, the idea
Oh, interesting.
of
Okay.
big recognition there.
Okay, that's really interesting, because that's the way I looked at this. As soon as I pulled that cross card, I was thinking, oh, this is probably an end of the career or close to an ending of a career sort of thing.
Could be.
The only other thing I would have thought of, but you already said it was a friend, and I did not think they were deceased, but I mean, it could have been, sometimes they give lifetime achievement awards to people who have passed. So there is that element when I see the cross as well. Hey, Dr. Victor, I will put you on the list, but you will have to wait your turn. We will get to you today. And it's still, we haven't even hit the last hour mark, and we're doing pretty well, I think. We just finished up Gina. Hope that reading was good for you, Gina. I'm dying now to see if that really happened, so do let us know.
Yeah, that could be exciting.
Yeah. So, hey, Merwin, you are up if you're still with us. And then we have Femme82, we have Mystic Dreamer, we have Tana, we have Patrick, and we have Dr. Victor. So it's not that long a list, Dr. Victor. Hang in there with us.
You're welcome, Gina.
You're welcome, Gina, as always. Okay, so who's next? I did say Merwin. So we'll wait for the question. And maybe one of your decks.
Sure.
Oh, of course you should let us know. That's really exciting. Very good question.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
And by the way, we did a 2020 forecast for the US of A for 2020, and that is a video on YouTube. And we've already gotten 40 views for that, so that's kind of nice. We are following up shortly on every single card in that reading.
Right.
It's
going
to be very interesting. So stay tuned. We should be coming out with the first one of those videos within the next week, I think.
We did 5 videos on the Brexit situation, and those were like wildfire. Over 1,000 people viewed them collectively. So we are very buoyed by that, and of course want to try our hand with the American issues. So we shall see how that goes.
Okay.
And we have Merwin's...
And now the pressure's on us to make sure it's big and wonderful. Uh-oh. I hope it is. So let's see what's going on there. I guess...
What do we
Do you want to grab a deck?
Yes, I'm going to go back to my Tarot of the Ages.
All right.
The nice petite-ish like
Yes,
deck.
easy to shuffle.
And my little sassy cat will sit there and sort of loll. Lick herself and otherwise be adorable. What is the most wondrous thing that could possibly be happening for Merwin?
Also, coming up soon will be our monthly modality messages.
Yes.
And we are working on that feverishly. We have readings set up for each of the modalities. And
this was a really challenging kind of thing for us to do.
That's because I challenged myself, I think.
Well, I had the initial idea, but I had no idea what this was going to involve. So wish us luck, but it's going to be a different kind of way of using astrology with tarot readings to focus on for a monthly reading for everyone. And those will be special videos we will upload monthly, usually around the changeover to each new sign.
Astrological sign, yeah. That's the way we're going to time that.
Alrighty.
I'm ready.
Sassy cat, give us some room.
Give us a break. All right.
Ooh, that one again.
Interesting. And that one again.
Yes, from a different deck.
Well, Merwin, It's like Murphy's Law. You say something wonderful and great, and then I get all reversed cards. But we have to remember that reversals sometimes create opportunities. So we have the Two of Swords reversed. We also have the Devil reversed, which actually is the better way to get the Devil card anyway. So we'll talk about that. And then we have the High Priestess reversed. So how do we put this all together?
Oh, you're going to let me lead, aren't you?
Not necessarily, Mr. O, but you're welcome to.
Well, when you analyze tarot cards, sometimes you find that there are various correlations between individual pairings or even maybe triples or quadruples. But I always do see a minor little connection between the devil and the high priestess. They're both sort of represent points of duality. In fact, the Two of Swords represents a point of duality. And so I'm thinking that there's clearly some idea here that there are some big choice or situation that is about to come to you, and that part of it involves renouncing a lot of materialistic concerns, but another part of it is also maybe renouncing or dealing with revelations of things that sometimes you sort of feel like it's not that it's scandalous. This is more about proprietary knowledge, like wisdom that you sort of feel like not everyone should know these things. So there's the issue of, letting people know more things that maybe you haven't always felt comfortable with letting people know. But there's also the issue about really making some big changes in your life in terms of how you view temptations and materialistic concerns and being weighed in by those kind of concerns, those kind of things that haunt you in their own way.
Well, yeah, it's funny you mentioned the word.
Did you let me go on too long or what?
Oh, I didn't bring it. Oh yeah. Did I hold up the sign? I did not hold up the wrap it up sign. No. I think you were just fine. What I would like to say to this situation, Merwin, is that I think that something big is going to happen, and it's going to make you feel a whole lot more liberated, from things that held you back before. It just seems like obstacles are going to start falling away for you. And this could be in relation to, maybe in the past, have you been afraid a little bit to go with what your gut has tried to tell you, to trust your gut intuition? Have you been afraid to really, go with what it's trying to tell you to do?
Is that another way of looking at the high priestess?
That's another way of looking at the high priestess. Or also the fact that, are you doubting your gut? Are you feeling that it's wrong and you shouldn't trust it? I think you're going to finally liberate from that and really understand maybe something's going to happen because you have sensed it that is going to really make you trust yourself again.
It is about proceeding ahead, which is another way of looking at the Two of Swords reversed too. It is about making movement, even if it isn't always clear exactly what you want to do.
Right. And I think that, also again, if you've been held back by the fact that you feel you've made some very poor decisions in the past, or the fact that you've wallowed in some indecision, I think that's all about to change. That's all about to change for you in a big way.
So let's pull a letter of mind. And we're not sure Smiling Soul, so we'll let Banshee tackle that. Is there room maybe for
I don't know. I'll put you after Dr. Victor Smiling Soul. We're in the last hour now, but I think we're going to do just fine.
And we're going to move the cat Pam because she's just so adorable, nearly asleep. Oh, I woke her up.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of intrusive in the moment. I think it's because the cord hit her, so she was like, huh?
Yes, it's always like that. Yeah. It's hard to avoid hitting her. Hello.
Now, are you making fun of her shape?
It's a great expanse.
Well, there's something to do with some things that might be near and dear to you. I don't know if you love your home and environment. It seems like maybe there could be some changes there, something good happening there. And it may make you feel a lot better, either physically, mentally, spiritually. You've got the tree, which is good health and well-being, and the home. So it sounds like a lot of good things happening in the home environment or where you live. Or if there's going to be some move or some bettering of conditions there.
So what you're suggesting is that the biggest changes or things come to involve things about the home or about the home life and about growth in general, things that,
yes.
that provide growthful avenues.
Yeah. So that's what we have for you, Merwin. I hope that helps.
I hope that helps.
And we are on Fem 82. Thanks for sticking with us, Fem 82. We'll take your question now. And after Fem 82 is Mystic Dreamer, Tana, Patrick, and then Dr. Victor. And if we can get to Smiling Soul, we'll do that.
Hello, my little baby girl. Hello there.
So Fem 82, there you are.
Ah.
After,
yes.
Oh, after the Cancer full moon.
They claim
Okay.
this was one of the most intense full moons in a long, long time, if not for probably even the rest of the year.
You know, I can truly speak on that because, not for me personally, but I feel that I've been seeing a lot of discussion on in the Twitterverse about what people have been going through recently, and it just seems like emotions have been really high. So I would say that, up and down, both ways. And so this has affected a lot of people.
So I'm going to use the Tarot Navigators of the Mystic Sea for this reading. And I'm shuffling them up here a little bit. And let Banshee shuffle now.
Would you like another?
Yes, please. Oh, but I can't eat them off camera. Well, maybe I can. I'm such a pig about this. I don't want to be seen eating them.
Oh, jeez. But everybody can hear you crunching away, Mr. O. Eclipse energy. Yeah, I don't know. I've been feeling surprisingly, upbeat during this whole period, which is good for me. I'm not going to knock that. But I've been feeling like things are clearer to me now about certain things and better. I think it's been a kind of an awakening for me. All right.
Thank you, Merwin. That's very nice to say that. I'm glad that made sense because the part about the house at the end felt a little bit vaguer towards me, but I felt that it was important enough to sort of reinforce what she was saying there.
Well, and you know what? That's the beauty of the tarot because to me, it really works wonders in that, it reminds you of the things that are important to you and it brings up things that you maybe should be focusing on and maybe you have been, but you don't realize how important they are to you till you see it right in front of you in those cards. And it's like, duh.
Okay, did you get them or what?
Not yet, Dr. Victor. We've still got a few readings to go. Mm-hmm.
This is for what?
Where'd it go?
I don't know. I lost my train of thought here. Isn't it sad?
What are red feelings for me now
That's
after the
what it is.
Cancer
I'm so sorry.
full moon?
Did you already shuffle? No, you didn't.
Okay, that cracker got
You
to
came
me.
back to me to cut.
I did. Oh.
Or you did
I was
cut.
supposed to.
We screwed up. Let's just do that
Let's
over again.
reshuffle. Focus.
Focus.
We're back to focusing.
Everybody let us focus a little bit.
Because Fem 82 waited this long and we want to make sure that reading is perfect.
Thank you, Patrick. They are really tasty. Maybe we'll post the recipe or tell you where to get them.
Okay. Now you shovel and you cut. That would be good. Now the sun is just shining through on our laptop over there. Crazy.
Got it?
Okay. Ooh. Wow. Well, there's the moon upright. There is the King of Swords reversed. And there is the Five of Swords upright.
Would red be normally the kind of person that would be influenced by a strong full moon? Because I sort of see that as being true, and that maybe there's a little bit of a a dichotomy for them in the sense that maybe at times they tend to be forceful. I won't say aggressive, I'll say forceful or direct about how they want to go after the things that they're interested in. But at the same time, maybe they're a little bit concerned about how they may appear emotionally. And so they sort of don't want to be always looking too compassionate. They sort
He's
of
a
want...
Pisces.
Okay, well, and so that's a challenge for Pisces or for some other water signs, is that they don't always want to appear too emotionally stable or soft. They like to try to possibly affect more forcefulness about them. But so that's a dichotomy for them, and the moon maybe affects them stronger in some ways too.
I'm not sure what the Five of Swords is doing here. Did you address the Five of Swords at all by chance?
That to me was this part about being forceful,
Oh.
possibly aggressive.
You know, there
It's
is
their
that element
dichotomy.
to this card, and it's really ironic because I just did my tarot haiku on the Five of Swords, and me and Mr. O have had this discussion before. I always have issues with the Five of Swords. I don't know why, but it's just a card that I don't like to read because there is a lot of aggressive energy attached to it. There's maybe some underhandedness attached to it, qualities that I'm not, liking that much. And the King of Swords reversed is, perhaps...
It's cups.
No, it's swords.
Oops, it is swords.
It
I'm
is
so
swords.
sorry.
Hopefully you've
Oh,
read
well, I'll have
that
to think
right.
about that. My
And
goodness, Mr. O is really screwed up today.
okay, you did fine up to this point. It's all right. And the King of Swords reversed is kind of like, this person may, kind of put a stop to things sometimes because they're a little harsh in their judgments and whatnot. I think it kind of makes people stop dead in their tracks, if they say things too abruptly, too aggressively, and things like that. They need to curb some of that nature a little bit about themselves. And the moon, I don't know. The moon upright is, to me, a card that indicates that there's still some unknowns here. I'm just not really sure where their feelings are at this point in time. Was that actually the question, or where things
What
are
was what their
headed?
feelings were since this last full moon?
Yeah. So I feel like there's still a little bit of they're keeping a lot of things in. Maybe there's some feelings that they're not willing to, that they're guarding more at this time.
And I express that as a dichotomy between this idea about forcefulness or being more force driven, and then re-looking at the King of Swords now reverse, the idea too about maybe doubting or not feeling totally in touch with their capacity to make correct decisions or make decisions that are effective, because everybody wants to make a good decision, but not everybody wants to make a decision that maybe shortchanges somebody else so that something else, or maybe they do, and so then they're used to being more cutthroat that way. So, but I sort of see a dichotomy there with this situation.
Oh gosh, she's covering the cards. So yeah, I sense there's just it's not going in the right way right now, things, and their feelings. Let me throw the Lenormand out there and see what else I get. I see you said something about them wanting to cut people off. So yeah, they're going through some aggressive what oh, forgot to give you your deck. Aggressive tendencies right now. Seems like there's something going on. Let me see if the Lenormand taps into that just a little bit more for you. Sassy's rubbing the mic.
Well, the King of Swords, even reverse, does talk about cutting off, cutting
That's
apart.
a good point.
You know.
Yes, indeed.
So, yet at the same time, I sort of get the feeling like sometimes they don't always feel really down with that attitude.
This is one of Ciro Marchetti's new cards. It's a card of time. And then there's the Anchor. And I think that feelings, whatever feelings they harbor, they're very long-term feelings, it seems to me. And also, it just seems as though this person is very slow moving right now, very slow. The anchor is kind of almost maybe not movement at all. Like it's going to take time for them to really make up their minds about certain things.
They're held in place, and it could be mostly by choice.
At least that's the way I'm reading it this time. I think there's a number of ways you can read this card, but that's what I'm picking up.
It is sort of resolving. It's a matter of time, too, I guess, in a way.
So that's what I see right now, Fem 82. I hope that helped. And Mystic Dreamer, you are up. I'll go over the list for everybody. Hi, Jenna. I see you're here. So Mystic Dreamer is up, and then Tana, Patrick, Dr. Victor, Smiling Soul, and Jenna. And Smiling Soul, I might ask if you could let Jenna go first. I think at this point we will be able to get everybody in, but that's probably maybe going to be it after this. You're welcome, Fem82. Good luck with this. And Mystic Dreamer, we await your question.
Mr. O has a little bit of a headache today. He's not sure what's going on.
It's still happening?
Yeah, a little bit. I keep thinking it's this beret around my head is just sort of
Is it
too
tight?
The other beret is less tight. You are welcome. And we are waiting for Mystic Dreamer, if they're still here,
Mystic
to
Dreamer.
indicate a question.
Oh, you're sick this weekend. Sorry to hear that. Dehydration is another good question, Gina.
Always possible. I tend to drink less water when I'm not at work. When I'm at work, I drink more water because I just get a big old mug and sit at my desk and just drink it.
I kind of feel that way too. What we do at home is, you see I have a little drink here. I'll get some either pink lemonade or some juice.
We're waiting for Mystic Dreamer.
And mix it just a little bit, little splashes in with some water, because we do like to try to drink more water. Any way we can trick ourselves to do it. Okay, Mystic Dreamer, last call. Did you type it in?
I did not. I'll do that right now.
All right. We're going to do one last call for Mystic Dreamer and move on. And I can always try to put Mystic Dreamer at the bottom, but there's no guarantee we'll get them in.
Water's just good for people anyway. That most of us probably don't drink enough water. I know that I don't really drink enough water. And I drink way too much
when you're
coffee.
sick, you absolutely should hydrate yourself. Absolutely. So, alrighty then, Mystic Dreamer seems to be gone. So we're going to move on the list, and we're going to go to Tana.
All right.
Hey, Tana, you are up. And after Tana will be Patrick, Dr. Victor, Smiling Soul, Jenna, and maybe Mystic Dreamer. Ah, interesting. Well, I don't know that I can give up my coffee for even a day, but I know I've drank, I haven't drank coffee for a day.
The last time I seriously gave up coffee wasn't by choice. It was when I was hospitalized back in 2002, and I didn't drink coffee for probably several days.
I really believe that, Gina.
Horrible headaches.
I do believe that, Gina. You're absolutely right. And I have so given a pop for, drinking more water and embracing things that are more water-based in my life, because sodas are really bad.
And we have a question by Tana.
Okay, we do have Tana's question. Know more about the person coming to you. Okay, let's see what that's about.
Back to your deck.
We'll go to the After Tarot. I don't know why I keep grabbing I really do like these cards, and thank you, at Miss Joyce Tarot, for reminding me, I have them sitting around and I should use them.
In recent years, I don't really go very much beyond a day without coffee. I go up to about a day without it, but that's about it.
Yeah, gotta do what you gotta do, Gina. And like I said, it only takes me a few splashes and I'm happy. And really, it's made a huge difference. I remember when I gave up pop, it was pretty dramatic. not just a weight loss aspect, but just the feeling that I get when I'm not drinking soda pop. Now, every so often, I've had one in recent times, but now it's just like a sporadic thing, which is so much better. Like I had to try cinnamon Coke when they came out with it because I'm a cinnamonaholic. I've mentioned that. So cinnamon and cola, I thought, okay, we got to see what this is like.
Good old gin and tonic. Oh, yes.
Gin and tonic. Yeah, it's been a while since I've had that. I used to drink a lot of Tom Collins back in the day, a drink based with gin. Okay.
Okay.
Yikers. Wow, there's some real power cards here. I have to say, Tana, not all bad, but definitely this one is in the bad category.
Let's put the puzzle together.
That's the tower. We're going to put this puzzle together because I think it's interesting. And then there is the King of Swords and also the Justice card. So...
Two justice cards, really.
Now, you mentioned that it was going to be what sign again?
A water sign.
A water sign. Well, I'm not seeing a lot of water here. The tower has a little... Does it have water in it? I'm not even sure. Not really. I think that whoever this person is, it looks as though they are coming out of something. They are coming out of some karmic lesson, some major thing in their life, and maybe starting again in some way. What do you think?
Well, when you see that and then you combine that with those justice cards,
Yes.
It sounds to me like maybe they had a fairly in-depth legal situation going. Maybe it's possible that they were secluded somehow, isolated, and now circumstances have changed and they have been allowed legally to be present. This could be a number of different things.
Right, it doesn't have to be divorce.
I wouldn't say the obvious thing too,
No.
like maybe they were in jail or anything like that. Maybe they're coming from another country and they had to go through a process to get here that involved freedom. Because
could
to
be
some degree,
any
these
number of
cards imply
things.
freedom too.
Yeah, that involve legal matters,
Legal matters.
So, but the other thing that I would suggest is, because this is a King of Swords, that maybe and the Justice card is here, that maybe this person does have some ties to the legal world in some way, that they're, that they have, that they're a lawyer, they have some background in government or legal services.
Mm-hmm.
It's a possibility. And like I said, something rocked their world, and maybe you will be just the thing that they need to bring them out of the situation that they're coming out of.
Let's pull a letter-mind,
Yeah,
because I
absolutely.
don't totally get the idea that they're bad or necessarily good for you.
Just to clarify the tower a bit, well, I'm thinking the tower is speaking in terms... The tower, when it's upright, it talks about lessons that need to be learned. It talks about great enlightenment that comes through often a crisis or a difficult time in a person's life. So that's kind of what the Tower card is adhering to. And since you asked about the person coming into your life, I'm thinking that that's this person. They're coming out of some major life experience.
Right. They're coming from an experience that, is a mini epiphany to you or to them.
Oh, to them. Yeah.
Where maybe, like I said, they've been released from some other situation and now they're here and they're hoping to find something that is liberating to them, considering where they've come from. These aspects of the legal situation sort of seem to imply that they have those connections to the legal world or the system of justice in one form or the other. It may be that they've changed careers. Maybe they really left that career behind, or they left another career behind to really embrace this career. It's not exactly clear. More cards lean towards the latter, that they're embracing something to do with the justice system.
Well, and again, I think these cards, since I'm reading for the person that might be coming to you, that's exactly how I'm seeing this. And so I drew the Fox card and I drew the Fish card. And so to me, This sounds like somebody who has some money, that has maybe some influence, some money. The Fox card is somebody who is well thought of in their career or in, what they're doing. So I think these fit together very nicely to show a person who has a lot of abilities, financial flow, and good sense about them.
Well, I wasn't sure how you knew that it was a water sign, but of course,
Oh
the
my
fish
gosh, yeah, because
would be the strongest portent of that there
That's
is
true
this
too.
possibility.
That's where the water element just came in, Tana.
And that maybe, because there's the fox there, that they're clever, or they're coming into a situation where they're about to pull off some sort of mini coup of their own. They're coming to a situation that they're going to kind of be in charge of or work to their favor.
Yep. And that's what we have for you, Tana. I hope that helps.
Everyone needs to take better care of themselves.
Yes,
I really need
ditto to that,
to
Casey.
exercise more.
Hey, Patrick, are you still with us?
My bones are getting old and cranky, and I need to keep working them a little bit so I can stay limber and not turn into my father or my mother or somebody else.
You're welcome, Tana. Good luck.
Thank
and
you.
Patrick,
Always let us know too.
We are on you. And after Patrick will be Dr. Victor. So hold your question, Dr. Victor. We'll be getting to you after Patrick. And then comes Smiling Soul, Jenna, and Mystic Dreamer if they've returned. So I think we're going to fit everybody in just fine. It's going to go very well. Okay. So what is the... Okay, there. Call me Heather.
Does it sound like you're being forced to go back and complete or do something for
exactly.
this other
What's
person?
The question?
And you don't really want to?
What do you need to know? Should you do it, or what do you need to know?
Maybe that's more of a question there.
But when my superior talked to him about me. So you want to know what's going to happen with the job that you're at now, or with this, Are you asking where you should be? Where you... Is that the question? Because I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure of the question either.
Or are you afraid there's some repercussions from the two talking to each other?
Are they trying to make you go back to the other place, or they're trying to make you want to go back to the other place?
I'm going to let you shuffle while he's thinking there, and let's see what we... Maybe we should just throw 3 cards generally about the situation.
We can try that. Let's see how
We could try that.
Speaking of bones and arthritis,
Uh-oh.
I'm getting a little bit of tendonitis in my left hand there. We don't have to read those, right?
No. Oh, am I going to work with them?
The previous company that you're talking about.
Let's do the yes-no on that.
We haven't done one yet today, or only one, I think.
Yeah. We've done a couple. We have done a couple. Because we added a yes-no to E.T.'s question, remember?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Patrick says yes.
Okay.
Here we go then.
Sorry about that confusion. Everybody think about your questions.
Did you already shuffle? Did you?
I did. That's right. So you should have cut. You are confusing me, Mr. O.
You didn't have to give me that look.
And what look?
Indeed. What look was that?
Oftentimes I give looks that I don't even understand.
That was a good save there.
Thank you. It's leaning towards no for some reason, Patrick. It's not meaning that it is going to be no, but there's a few things here I see. You had the Ace of Swords reversed. I'm not going to pick that one up because Sassy is now on top of it. But you have the Hermit card upright. And
I'm blushing now.
and you have the three of now you've thrown me off, Casey. And you have the three of swords. That's okay. Upright. And so I don't know, this no, the possibility that's leaning towards no, does this make you unhappy? Or is this telling me that you would be unhappy if it were yes? One way or another, there's sorrow here. There's disappointment. Maybe some regret. And maybe it has to do, oh no, Gina confirmed that. Maybe it has to do with finding out something, finding out some knowledge or information that you weren't aware of before with this situation. I don't know. This might be indicating to me, yes, it's not going to happen and you're not going to be very happy about that. Does that make sense to you?
I think it's leaning towards no. I haven't really weighed in, and I think that there's...
So you would be sad. So yeah, this three of swords feels that here, that you feel a deep disappointment over this. At least this is the way it's leaning. Let me see what the Lenormand has to say.
No, wait. You're saying that if you go back...
He said if no, I would feel sad.
Well, what I'm getting is like maybe you wanted to be able to make that decision yourself, and that maybe you didn't really like it necessarily being made around you. I mean, you had aspects of it, but no?
Well, I don't know if you're going for a job or how do you make the decision, I don't know.
Okay. Well, we're going to pull some Lenormand and see if we get something else there. I was trying to get Sassy to look at the camera, but there we go. Hey, Sass. What's up? Smile for us.
Kitty does want to be on camera like all the time. Maybe not. She just likes to be around me. Oh, and you too, Mr. O, and you too. Holy cow. I got this combination before. Well, I've got the home and I've got the health. And or the tree, which is roots. And it seems to me you really want to be in a situation and in a place where you can put down your roots and you feel at home, if this makes sense to you. You don't feel, you don't want to be in a place where there's no sense of security. I think that's important in some way here. And that's kind of what I'm getting from these two cards. And this came up exactly for someone else too. And I pick one from the top and one from the bottom when I do this particular reading.
I can't disagree with this too much. I think that's more or less what I get too. Mm-hmm. The home is about stability and about feeling comfortable. And to me, that tree also invokes the idea of knowledge too, that your awareness of how these things go really is important to you to really have your own input into that and be able to be in charge of that destiny yourself.
Yep. That's what we have for you on this question, Patrick. I hope that helps. I mean, I know it's not maybe what you wanted to hear. So remember, knowledge is power. And, if there's any way that you think you can influence the situation one way or another, maybe take that extra step if you feel it's necessary. And we're going to move on to Dr. Victor. You are up, so we'll take your question.
And Dr. Victor actually gave us a question.
Oh, already?
Yeah, we can just scroll
I told
back.
him to
it was
wait.
just a few moments ago.
Oh, okay.
Will BBO get back?
Will BBO get back to me with a job offer? Will AI get back with me? Okay, so...
We'll see about the general reading.
Yeah, that's
You're
a toughie.
welcome.
We might not be able to do them all, but I think what we can do is we'll draw some cards for the two choices, see what we get. And then maybe we can do a quick thing about 2020.
I wanted to address the idea that Banshee has sort of interesting gestures or ways of facially emphasizing something.
Do I?
And also the fact that I'm saying risque things. Oh well.
Well, you know, we are quite an odd couple.
You probably have time, Gina.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, Gina, no problem. Let's see where Dr. Victor's smiling soul is before you, so I think you'll be fine. All right.
Okay, so we're asking for Dr. Victor.
So I have an idea. We'll do the 2 and maybe 1 card for each and just see what we get, what it looks like for both choices. Did you shuffle these yet? You did not. Cut them. And I think I'm going to have you lay them out over there. I'll pick them up, but you can lay them out because she's in the way.
Meatloaf.
Our cats are adorable. They really are. But, you know, everybody can say that about their pets, you know.
Go ahead and cut.
Yep. And I love dogs. Dogs are just too high maintenance in my life for me right now. But I love dogs as well. Oh, I wanted you to lay them out here. So, and one next to it. And then one down. And one.
So these are about the 2 choices.
Yeah, this is very interesting combinations.
The first
here.
one being BBO, the other one being AI.
Yeah, okay,
right.
so as far as BBO goes, I think it's highly possible. I definitely think it's highly possible because you've got these 6 of Wands upright.
There's a strong victory vibe there.
A win.
Sort of like you're feeling like it's a win.
Like it's a win. However, I'm not sure it's necessarily the right choice for you per se. I'm not sure because the Knight of Wands is reversed.
There's a trust factor there that you don't feel that some of the offers or things that they've said to you, you totally trust them on. They might have said, oh, well, you'll have this, this, and this, and you don't feel like you'll have all of that, that some of that maybe is not as solid as you would like.
Well, either that or you're wondering if you really get what you need out of that job experience. There might be some doubts there. The other position, on the other hand, this is the whatever it was. AI. Okay.
Well, you're helping them pull their fat out of the fire in a way. Like maybe this company has had some problems before. It's the reverse Ten of Swords.
Ten of Swords, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're maybe doing a lot more there because maybe this company has had some problems, or maybe by you going there, you are actually somehow resurrecting yourself, or you're somehow averting some problems by going there, maybe.
You know, that's interesting point that there might be some, you know, the Ten of Swords
Noble
is kind
thing.
of a card of healing from trauma. And so there might be like, this could be a real boost to you in some way you might feel. And then we've coupled that with the 3 of Wands upright.
There's something uplifting about that ultimately, and that there's something good about that choice because it looks well invested.
But then you were asking who would come through with an offer. I get the feeling here that it is possible that both could come through with an offer. And then it's up to you to decide which one is going to be the better way to go. I'm kind of getting that feeling here. And, you know, I think there's pluses and minuses to both of these. I'm almost thinking the second choice might be better for you professionally, but that's just my opinion.
It's definitely in some ways more responsibility or more reward kind of thing happening there. You're going to pull a Lenormand for Dr. Victor.
You know what? I think I will on this, and then we'll just do a quick few cards for your 2020. We're not going to give you a full 2020. Well, we'll throw 3 cards on the 2020. Not that 2020 reading we have for you, the 4. So I'll cut it down a little bit because we're giving you 2. We may have to cut down on answering 2 questions in the future, though, as more people get readings. Just throwing that out there. If we can fit things in together nicely, it may work out, but if not, we might have to say no. It looks like this year, wow, it's kind of heady.
Is that the swans and
Yeah.
the snake?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a snake.
No, that's the swans are actually the heart.
The heart.
Yeah. What number is that?
24.
Yes, that's the heart. And the snake is, well, the snake is deception sometimes. It can mean, a variety of underhanded kind of things with the heart, matters of the heart. So things, as far as the job goes, you got to guard, and go with where you feel, people are going to treat you the fairest, people you trust the most. I think that's a key here. If both of these offers come through.
Do you see these at all as being related
No, Jenna,
to...
you're still good. Go
Do you
ahead.
see these as relating to the two different choices? Like one is one choice, one is the other?
No.
Okay. I don't necessarily myself too. I do sort of feel like that a lot of this is what you really want to feel inside of yourself about how good you feel about that. And you should also realize that to some degree other persons or other situations may try to influence that, and you have to sort of stick with your own heart feeling about that.
Use your cards real quick and shuffle.
Alrighty.
We're going to do something quick for Dr. Victor, quick 2023 cards, just to see what a focus might be for you in the year ahead, Dr. Victor.
You did not take too long.
Yeah, Jenna, we've got you. Don't worry. You're not next. We got Smiling Soul, Jenna, and then Mystic Dreamer if they've returned. And that will shut us out for today. We'll stop with that.
You know, Gina, when you say that, I always think of that Rick Moranis character in Ghostbusters when he was talking to the one other character.
No, he was talking
to the demon.
The demon
and
at
said
the end,
that
yeah.
Maybe he had a milk
Maybe
bone
he
in
wants a
his
milk bone.
pocket. So he says, maybe I have a milk bone in my pocket.
Or
I think
something.
that's what he says.
No, I
Yes.
says maybe you want a milk bone or something. Really silly. I do remember that line.
Alrighty.
All right. You shuffled?
I did. So you're going to cut, and we will draw those 3 cards. And these cards are the mini 2020 reading.
Just 3 cards. No, it's more like a theme, I think, for the year. See what comes up.
Thank you, Gina.
Are they all people? Whoa.
Queen of Pentacles, upright. I don't like the shadows it's throwing there. The King of Cups reversed. I love the colors on that card.
And the Tower reversed, upright.
The Tower. I have to answer Khalil's question.
Well,
Was it Halloween?
All right. I'm throwing the sign to Mr. O.
Sorry.
Where is it?
Okay, never
We
mind.
have
we
readings
have to
to
wrap it up
do
and then we'll
yet.
get to that question. Okay, so a productive year, a creative year, maybe a little bit of tough love for somebody that you'll have to extend.
The Tower is upright. I think there's lots of learning experiences for you this year. Some of them you might consider epic ones. In other words, life-changing or altering ones. This is going to be a real wake-up for you this year, and it might be a good thing. And I feel that it has to do with possibly something to do with health or health care. Maybe if that's the field, of course, you're getting into, Dr. Victor. And also maybe with emotions. This is a year that is going to challenge you, I think, emotionally one way or another. And so keep that in mind in the year ahead and make sure that you try to do things to balance yourself emotionally.
Well, I think I covered those two, and I see with the Tower, though,
Yeah.
that idea that there's a lot of a learning curve, a lot of things that are really felt within that are dynamic and life-changing, and a lot of that relates to the fact that you are going to be very productive and you're really going to be creating good situations with people, and that you'll have to just administer and minister to people in a kind way. Some people are going to need some tough love from you, though. I have to reiterate that.
Yeah. So that's what we have for you, Dr. V. So I hope that helped. And we're going to move on to Smiling Soul.
Khalil wants to know what the first movie we
was.
went to.
You said Halloween was
Was it
really?
Halloween?
That
No.
seems a little late for
That was-
us.
Okay, you're right.
We
it
went to
would
the
have been late.
drive-in.
Well, that's where we
I think
saw
the
that one. That
drive-in
was 78,
was-
you know. So
Yeah.
it probably would have been something earlier than that. Can't think of it, eh?
No.
Was it the one we went through to with Gail?
It was
and her
something with our friend
wonderful
Gail,
morning?
I believe. Yeah. Yeah.
What would it have been? Oh, I know an early movie was, and I don't know
Okay.
if this was the first one, but we saw, that was with Gail and her boyfriend, The Eyes of Laura Mars.
Oh, yeah, I remember
with
that
Faye
one.
Dunaway and Tommy
But is that
Lee
really?
Jones.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It was an early movie we saw. I don't know if it was the earliest one.
Yeah.
That was kind of a pretty cool movie. I like that movie.
No, you can add one. Just will he? Okay, next 4 months. Will I get one on one in the next 4 months? Well, I think you're gonna. I think we'll go with the one question about the contact because that's really what the start. I think it really has to start with the contact. So let's see. Let's try that one first. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, Smiling Soul. And yes, you are very excited. I do think, like I said, some of this moon in this eclipse in Cancer energy has been very interesting for a lot of people. And so some of us have gotten really more enthusiastic. And my gosh, I spent a whole lot of time on Twitter this weekend, for example. I was just all over the place there. So I think, it's affected us all in a variety of different ways.
Well, my headache is getting a little better, so that's a good thing. Mr. Monster may drop in on us because we have a little bit of brainstorming to do.
Yeah, we
about
want to
some
get
stuff.
some things ready for some screenshots ready for some of our next projects.
So we don't want to go into overtime tonight unless we really have to, but we're probably good.
Oh, we're doing fine. We'll just go maybe a little bit over with Jenna, but we've got this. Okay.
You want me to cut?
No. Put those back on top. Sorry if I'm talking into the microphone.
Are 4 hands better than 2? Not when they're ours.
Okay.
I don't know about the video for sigils because I think there are people who know a lot more about it and are far more talented.
Matt
than
Oren
me.
is one of them,
Matt
I think.
Oren would
yeah.
be somebody I would recommend. Maybe you could type that in real quick, the name, so they have that.
I know you've seen them in the Twitterverse, so you could check them out. And
Is it 3 cards?
Yeah, 3 cards. No, yes, no.
Oh.
Yes, no. Because we're asking that first question will there be contact in the next 4 months? Dropping cards again. Wow.
It's leaning towards yes.
It's leaning towards yes. Now, you do have the 2 of Swords reversed, Smiling Soul. So what this tells me is, patience. Don't get impatient. Let things run their course. And don't make any rash, judgments or decisions, that could mess things up.
Probably you need to wait on more information. You don't have everything yet. So it's sort of, to me, is implying you should play it a little bit more. I'm not saying this in the acceptable standard, but on the sly side, just sort of like not showing all your cards.
Yeah. So that's what we have for that, Smiling Soul. I hope that helps for the second reading
Thank you,
today.
Dr. Victor. I hope that was helpful to you, too.
And hey, Jenna, you are up.
And now it's time for Jenna.
It is time for Jenna.
I'm going to keep using
And I'm
this
just
deck.
going to do a shout out to see if Mystic Dreamer's around. If Mystic Dreamer's back, you can get in after Jenna. But if not, we're closing it off with Jenna tonight. Or today. I'm getting ahead of myself, I see.
But we will be back
Yes.
next Thursday, 7 o'clock to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we We'll see you guys again. You are welcome, shining soul.
Smiling
always.
soul.
You shine for me too.
Good recovery, Mr. O. And hey, Jenna, I know you're here, so it's your turn. Come on down. Oh, you'll be traveling back. So the Italy's over, huh? Well, I hope you've had a great time there.
We will all gossip about you next Sunday.
That's right.
So you want to know if you'll be able to go to the anime Milwaukee convention. That sounds exciting.
Okay. Let's see what we get. We'll do a yes, no on that. I think I will count them out this time. You'll cut them anyway, right? Or did you give them to me to...
I shuffled.
You did?
Yep.
Wow. Let me count them out. Thank you. Well, maybe I won't have to go far. Or maybe I will. Well,
it's leaning towards snow.
Right now it's leaning towards no. We dropped that card, but it was on the bottom. We have the Ace of Cups reversed. I'm not going to show that one, but we have the, what is that, Queen of...
That's the King of Cups
reversed. The King of Cups reversed. And the Four of Coins reversed. Seems to me that, I don't know, is there something...
I think you're not going to be able to say for it as you've indicated, because there's going to be maybe some other situation that will come up that you'll need to use that money for.
Yeah.
And I think it is possible that it's revolving around something else that you equally care about. But maybe this is also something that you share with somebody too, so it might be part of a situation, friends or relationship or something like that. You might decide to take another trip or something different. I don't know.
It's a little bit of a disappointment, so you know what? Plan on, to try to figure out what we're saying here, what could be holding you back financially. Think about possible problems you need to take care of now so they don't get in the way. But it's looking as though that, yeah, there's something that is going to stop you financially from pursuing this. I get that.
Yeah, mostly I just think there's another thing coming up that you'll have to do. And like I said, it could actually be just something else that's connected to another situation, and maybe you'll have to do that instead. Maybe there's a shared thing that has to be repaired, or maybe there's some shared visit that will imply traveling with money expenses.
Well, and also maybe it's a matter of too, if it's not something tangible like financial.
I think it's going to come up. I don't think it's come up yet.
If it's not something that's financial, it could also indicate that, maybe it's time. You won't be able to do it because there's a time crunch of some sort. This is very interesting. I drew the snake card first. And then I drew the wishing well card next. And that's one of the newer cards from the Ciro Marchetti deck. And so basically, I'm beginning to wonder if, there's some, there's something, this is what you want to do. This is what you really want to do. But there is something, that you haven't factored into this, I think. That there's something.
What were those cards?
It was the snake and it was the wishing well. And the wishing well really is about wishes. There's the desire here, but there's something behind the scenes happening, or that, like, I think he's right. You don't know about this yet, but it might interfere with your ability to make this trip.
Like I said, it could just be something else you'd rather do that comes up because somebody else brings it to you somehow.
Yeah.
Sounds nebulous enough, right?
Yeah.
Well, look who's there. Hey, Jay.
And that's what we have for you, Jenna. I hope that helps. Sorry about the message, but feel free to ask as the energies change.
It could just be nowish.
Yeah, it could just be a thing now, And hey, Jay Walker, I see you're here. Oh, well, that can get in the way. So, and we did have that king, right? The king reversed. And so maybe
King
that's
of Cups
indicative
reversed,
of
yeah.
somebody who is opposing you doing this, So it is possible. Hey, Jay Walker, you know what? We'll make an exception for you if you want a quick reading. We got 5 minutes left. We can fit you in.
Timer starts now.
Don't pound the table.
Oh, so sorry.
You know what our producer said about that. You are right on time because there is nobody else, so you can take the time or not because we're like almost at sign-off time. Well, good luck with that, Jenna. And, if it is your dad that ends up being the obstacle, I hope maybe, you can turn it around somehow.
So I haven't used this deck, so the spirit guide question we have. This
Oh.
is my Adrian Tarot, which have some really intense New Age kind of images. I love these.
So let's use that one. That sounds good. Okay, Jay Walker, glad you caught us. And we will finish the day
Well, good
with
luck,
you.
Jenna, too. I see that there.
Well, keep hope alive. Never say never. Just because, and remember, we said it was leaning towards no. It was not a definite no. There's a lot of, like even the Lenormand was kind of iffy on that. So I would say it's not going to be easy to turn this around, but it's possible. Oops. Now I'm bumping the microphone. Let me not do that.
So I'm thinking of buying 2 new berets to use. I wear berets occasionally at some social gatherings I go to. I want to get one that's maybe white. I know it'll get
You're
dirty
welcome,
fast.
Jenna. All right.
You're welcome. And maybe a burgundy one. Not a raspberry one, because I'm not wearing
raspberry
a
beret.
But I will wear a burgundy one.
Burgundy's pretty, well, it's not close really, but close in a way.
It is actually close in a way. So we have...
That's reversed.
It is, isn't
Are
it?
they all reversed? No, that one is not. Wouldn't
We
you
have the
know?
5 of Swords reversed.
Careful.
We have the Hermit reversed.
What's the Hermit? Oh, yes, it is. The last card's upright. And dun, dun, dun.
The last card is Death.
Upright.
Upright.
So what do your spirit guides generally want you to know? I'll say, Jay, that they sometimes feel you're not listening to them. We got the Hermit reverse there. And so, I think you're going to have to do a little bit more meditation and inner work. I think that's called
I'm tripping
for.
out on the skull in the mirror. Woo! Sorry, it's been a long day.
And then the 5 of Swords is reversed. And what they're saying to you here, I think, is maybe you have to come to terms to something within yourself. I have a feeling that there has to be some amends made here. Like maybe you're being too hard on yourself is what they're trying to tell you. And that in order to, and that you are going to be in a process soon of some radical change that's coming your way, some big changes. In order to get ready for that, you have to go within more and prepare yourself.
Yeah, the Spirit is saying there is a big change coming for you, and I feel that it's in the wake of something that you take internally as some sort of defeat. It's not necessarily a physical defeat, like somebody beats you down, but maybe you just sort of feel you've lost something. You're just immeasurably not so much sad as just sort of despondent, just sort of feeling that way. We hope that's not really severe. But with the Hermit reverse, they sort of seem like you need to be able to use it as your opportunity for self-reflection and growth, and realize that what Spirit wants for you, I think, because you've said this before, Jay, is wants you to be able to share some inner wisdom. And we joked before about whether tarot cards was your medium. maybe it isn't that, but maybe there is some other one there, or maybe it's just not that way at this time.
Right.
So I just
Right.
sort of feel these cards are telling us there is something there for you, and you just have to go more inward to figure it out.
And by the way, guys, Eleni, you're late again.
Yeah, we're pretty much quitting in the next few moments. But I did want to say thank you, Kaleo. Burgundy is indeed classy, and I'm worth it. Burgundy and gray were my corporate colors when I worked at a corporation a few years ago, and I always thought I looked pretty good in those corp colors. And I like the song Raspberry Beret, too. Thank you,
Hey,
Janet.
Jay, I have some very interesting Lenormand cards for you here I want to bring up. I have the Bridge card, which is one of his new cards, Ciro Marchetti's. And I also have this Maze card, which is new. And this is really interesting, too, and we're talking about the spirit, your spirit guides. I think they definitely want you to make a firmer connection with them, to, dispel some of the confusion or maybe inner stuff that you might be going through. They really want to connect with you more. You have to find a way to make that connection stronger.
They feel that part of the confusing path or maze that they set out for you is part of the process of you finding your way to them, because it's sort of a test. It's a quest for you to prove yourself not only to them but to yourself.
Oh, Eleni, thanks for popping in. I really appreciate that, and enjoy your work.
Yes, it's always good to see you.
It is good to see you. Hopefully you can make it a little longer so we can read for you sometime.
We love our little community.
We love this community, and we thank you all for coming. It is such a joy to read for you all. And Jay, that's probably true. They want you to meditate more. I really feel there is some bigger, stronger connection needs to be made here, and however you need to do that. Maybe if you have your own cards, maybe not reading for others, but working more through the mediums that you use to connect with your spirit guides. And watch your dreams as well. Maybe you also need to be paying attention to what you're seeing in your dreams. Hey, and that's what we have for you today. So we hope everybody's had a great time like we have had. We really enjoyed it.
We appreciate all the wonderful comments and compliments we get. It's been a really long road, and sometimes we ourselves are only human. I have personally gone back and forth many times feeling like I'm not really doing a good job, or I'm not really getting it. So it's wonderful to have, that said to us.
Yeah, and know that more good stuff is coming. We guarantee it. But it's been a journey, and thanks to everybody joining us on Facebook and Twitter.
Gina Clean, where do you live? Because
it's Colorado, I believe.
I
right?
have travel issues, so this is going to be
not Texas?
a little bit. We'll see.
Oh, that's right. We'll get there, even if I have to make us drive there. As long as it's not over the water, because goodness knows, I'm not sure how he would handle that.
I think I could handle going out east better than out
west.
west.
Massachusetts. We've been to Massachusetts before.
Yeah,
so.
I won't get lost.
Yeah. So anyway, take care, everybody. Good talking to you all. We'll see you next time.
Take care. Bye.